Hello everyone and welcome to the Atlassian Community Roundup for February of 2023. We have a ton of great things to get into, so let's not waste any more time and dive right in. Okay, first up, unfortunately, we have another CVE that's been announced. This one specifically is with Jira Service Management in the server and data center environments. I highly recommend you go to this article, check out what versions are affected, and take the actions you need to protect yourself and your company. As we know, cyber attacks are on the rise nowadays, and you need to do everything you can to make sure that you are not going to be a victim of them. Next up, if you missed Atlassian Presents Unleashed, it was absolutely amazing. I attended the digital version, and even the digital version was extremely fun. They had some interactive things for you to participate in while the event was happening live. And the Jira guy, Rodney Nissen, has done a great job of providing a recap of the major things that were announced: Jira Product Discovery, Jira Work Management for free, and the thing that everyone has been waiting for, native dark mode for Jira. Go read through this. It covers a lot of other things that were included in that announcement, and I highly recommend you at least sign up for the digital version of Team because you don't want to miss out on those announcements. Next up, while we're talking about Team, if you are going to be attending live in Las Vegas, consider adding some training to your time there. I went into the 2019 summit and added my first certification prep course there. I can't express how amazing it is to have a live training session where you can listen to other people asking questions, either ones that you may not have thought of or you don't have the confidence to ask yourself for fear of sounding like you should know the answer. Just the number of people that can engage with you and listening to the instructor's answers really is a benefit, and the courses are really not that expensive to do in person. Next up, have you seen the cloud and data center roadmaps? If you didn't know that these exist, go check out this article. There are links to them. And then more importantly, you can now subscribe to them so that on a quarterly basis, your email inbox will tell you about all the things that have changed in the past quarter on the roadmaps. Moving over to a really cool article, Nadia has done a great use case on how to set up your software releases in a separate Jira project called the Release Center. This is not a template that Jira provides. It's not an add-on. This is just a use case and a methodology on how to create a release center that will help you better manage your software releases. If you are struggling with release management or you're always looking for some way to improve your release engine, I recommend reading through this because you might find something that you can use. Okay, moving on to the product updates. First off is Atlassian's latest in the Point A products, Beacon. If you're not familiar with Beacon, it is a threat detection and alerting dashboard product, which is very much a helpful thing for those of you that are cybersecurity minded. This will help with your Atlassian Cloud products of helping you identify users that shouldn't be using your products, or other attempts to try and access your Atlassian organization without your knowledge. Next, Atlassian is rolling out a new billing engine for their cloud products. This is one of those things where they're trying to unify the interface that your billing happens in, and at the same time they're adding a new billing administrator role to help separate out the people that need access to your billing and subscriptions area without giving them too many more admin permissions to the rest of your cloud organization. I recommend reading through this full article because not everything has completely rolled out, and there are additional details that you're probably going to want to take a look through. In the same time that we're talking about the cloud sites, organization admins can now rename groups. This is a 20-year-old feature request, and they are finally doing something about it. Now, before you get too excited, there is a caveat with this. The only thing that this is going to be enabled in is the improved user management UI, which hasn't 100% been rolled out to all customers. So if you are using the improved UI, you will see this as an option in the near future. And by near future, I mean probably about the time that this recording goes live. For the rest of us, we will unfortunately have to wait until we get that improved UI, but that is coming soon, and there's definitely hope that this is not going to be an issue for too much longer. Next, Confluence. Do you like using it for everything, including taking down rough notes? You might want to take part in the latest early access program where you can now easily create private notes. This is an easy way for you to spin up some scratch notes without having to worry about the permissions on a page. This looks really cool. I'm interested, and if you love Confluence, I know you should be as well. Next, Jira Service Management has the next round of changes coming, all revolving around improvements to customer management. This one is going to be one that you're going to want to read through because it's a little bit confusing to just give you the short version of it. You're going to want to read through this a couple of times. I had to read through it to try and figure out everything that's going on. So the concept of this is the major use cases that they are looking at for customer management is internal customers and external customers. And this feature, which should be rolling out in April according to this article, is going to start by adding in a couple of new roles, specifically a customer role, which is going to help make it easier for you to identify your agents versus your internal customers, and those are people who work for your company but are customers to a service management project, and then external customers, which are people who don't work for your company but are customers to a project. So read through the article, there are details, and the feature isn't rolling out just yet. Next up, I think you all know I love Bamboo, so whenever I see news about Bamboo, I have to include it. Bamboo Data Center 9.2 is now available. It is a long-term support release. This is the first time ever that Bamboo has done a long-term support release, so I highly recommend you check it out, see what your upgrade path is, and upgrade to this version as soon as possible. As we all know, long-term support releases are the ones that will get critical fixes for an extended period of time, so this is definitely one of those versions you are going to want to sit on if you're not in the habit of upgrading regularly. Next, Compass. We've heard a lot about Compass recently, and that it is moving from beta possibly to GA soon. It's still in beta, but now within their custom fields, the user type is now supported, which is an awesome improvement. It now means that your components in Compass can have a proper user field for identifying subject matter experts or the component owner or whoever else you want to identify by username instead of using just a plain text field. And then lastly, in our product news, as far as feature updates, Trello now has email notification settings. So if you have been wanting a little bit more control over the notifications in Trello that come to your inbox, you're now able to change those things, or at least a handful of those things. So I'm excited about this being released. Moving over to our automation corner. First up, as much as this could be a product update as well, I thought it was appropriate here in the automation corner, and that is that there is now a slight change with automation rules that for project administrators in Jira or space administrators in Confluence, you are now able to edit a rule in your space or your project without changing the rule actor to yourself. It's a minor change, but it's definitely a welcome one, because previously you needed to be a global administrator to make sure that you weren't going to be selected as the rule actor. Space or project administrators had to make themselves the actor, which comes with its own problems, so this is a really nice improvement. And then lastly, in our automation corner, Christian does a great job of Throwback Thursdays on a weekly basis, and a couple of weeks ago, he posted one all about asking for your automation tips, and the community responded. I highly recommend you go and read through some of these. If you're looking for automation help, this will definitely give you some thoughts and ideas of things that you should be looking at. And with that, I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed putting it together. As always, this is just the tip of the iceberg of things for you to go and check out in the community. So please use this as your stepping stone to go and check out all the great content that there is for you to consume. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful March, and I'll see you back here next month.